Just imagine, you'll become so beautiful. You'll get a home just like that. As soon as he stepped out, a crowd of girls surrounded him. Go on, cherish your beauty. It was beyond their control. Something like this had to happen. And this is where our story begins today. It's about a family called Meat, known for generations. People call him one of the most beautiful humans ever. They adore him because of his beauty. That beauty was their source of income. His eldest son is a TikTok star. With his charming looks, he has millions of fans. Besides that, he's just a regular boy. He even helps others get girlfriends. His father, Parker, used to do the same. In his time, he was even more handsome than now. He broke the hearts of more than 1,200 girls, dated even more. Eventually, he found a woman to start a family with. His wife was also very beautiful, though a bit manly. And now, they have me. Their younger son was the most powerful in the entire house. He was stunning, and the family took pride in his beauty. But Kulin wanted to be normal. As he lived his life, he often wondered, what if I wasn't this beautiful every time he went out? Girls would follow him. One glimpse of his face, and they'd go crazy. Some would have nosebleeds. Others would pull their hair out. They'd start jumping in excitement. Because of all this, Kulin had never talked to a girl. He rarely went out. He had been studying from home until now. No one to talk to except his pet fish. He didn't even play cards with anyone. He kept talking to the fish. This behavior worried his family. They often showed him pictures of pretty girls, begging him, "Come on, brother, who knows what all the girls in the world are doing?" But Kulin said, "I want a girl who doesn't care about my looks." He wanted someone who loved him for his heart, not his face. When no trick worked, the family came up with a new plan. They decided to pretend to be poor so they could send Kulin to school. One night, while drinking water, Kulin overheard his father say, "From now on, we'll only have eggs for breakfast, so we can save money for Kulin's education." Hearing that, he felt guilty. The next morning, he decided to go to school, for real this time. The family started dancing with joy. But Kulin said, "I'll only go to a boys' school." That spoiled everyone's mood a bit. But they thought, at least he's leaving the house. On the first day of school, they dropped him off by bike. He got off the bike wearing a full-face helmet. He planned to wear the helmet all day, so no one would notice his beauty. But the exact opposite happened. Because of the helmet, all the students started staring at him. To bother him, a boy named City and his gang approached. When the teacher entered the class, she asked Kulin to remove the helmet. Even though he didn't want to, he had to. And as soon as everyone saw his face, the teacher fainted and had to be rushed to the hospital. Because the moment she saw Kulin, her breath stopped. Bullen ran straight towards home. But on the way, those mischievous boys caught him. They dragged him into a storeroom and transformed themselves into self-proclaimed superheroes. These three began to boast about their new identities, bragging like they had been studying at school for the past 3 years. All for one reason: the most beautiful girl in the city. Amanda, studied at BBM school, and they all wanted to take her to the party. But Amanda only talked about good-looking boys. So they came up with a plan. They decided to turn Bullen into someone handsome. They threatened a decent boy, one of their own friends, to help with the transformation. Soon after, they even went to complain about the rowdy behavior to the elite school's principal. But unfortunately, the poor principal was already troubled. Even his own son had started talking through bizarre phone calls, begging, "Please get this crazy girl out of here, so I can leave this school as soon as possible." Eventually, Bullen felt happy to have a good friend beside him. The very next day, the two of them arrived at BBM school. But the moment they walked in, the girls started screaming, "Take off that girl's helmet." They had no idea what was coming, but soon a gang of mean girls decided to team up. As soon as he took off his helmet, within hours, chaos broke out in the school. The news spread like wildfire. It was all over TV. Because of Kulin, girls are going crazy. Some girls were fainting. Others were bleeding from the nose. The school's most sensitive student even started vomiting. And when the beautiful Amanda saw the news, she instantly fell in love with what she saw. She declared she would make that handsome boy, Kulin, hers soon. Crowds started gathering outside Kulin's house. Thousands of girls were lined up just to see him. Even his family saw an opportunity. They began selling tickets to enter the house. But Kulin had done all of this in secret. When he found out what was happening, he realized that even his own family was using him for money. When his friend Guli called and begged him to return home, Kulin flatly refused. He was heartbroken, not just by his family, but by the overwhelming attention from girls who only liked his looks. He ran away and hid on the rooftop of a tall building. There, he met a girl who came up behind him and said, "If you're planning to jump, go ahead. But don't expect anyone to be surprised." Kulin turned and looked at her because she was the first girl who didn't faint upon seeing him. His heart skipped a beat. Before he could say a word, the girl walked away. That night, he went to spend the night at his friend Keyboard's house. Keyboard and his grandmother welcomed him in. While there, Kulin noticed something strange in the room, a rare card collection. He was thrilled to see it because he, too, loved collecting such cards. The next day, he went back to the girls' school to search for the rooftop girl. Instead, he met Amanda. She handed him a letter, pretending to be unaffected by his looks. But as soon as he walked away, Amanda's nose also started bleeding, just like the others. Meanwhile, he spotted that same mysterious girl again. He tried to talk to her, but was stopped by a crowd of girls swarming around him. Over the next few days, Kulin and the rooftop girl began to spend more time together. A strong friendship formed between them. The next day, Kulin got a chance to play in an elite football match. She came to watch him, and he gave it his all. After the match, the girl approached him and said, "My name is," and that's when Kulin finally learned her name. He also started liking that girl. She was a very good friend, always spending time with him. Seeing this, Kulin began to feel jealous. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about what he should do. He even remembered how his older brother once gave him advice about love. So, the next morning, he decided to ask his brother for help. When he saw the girl talking to Guli, his heart sank. He had wanted to talk to her for so long, but seeing her with someone else made him pause. Still, Kulin forgave his family, because if he hadn't left home, he might never have met her in the first place. Later, the two brothers went shopping. Kulin tried to learn more about the girl from Bulin, but quickly realized he didn't know her as well as he thought. Even then, he didn't give up hope. Then, Amanda told everyone that they would celebrate Kulin's birthday at school. She even handed him her number and told him to call. That evening, Kulin and Keyboard went out for a walk. It was then that Keyboard realized something. He had feelings for her to dot so. He directly asked Kulin, "Do you like her?" Kulin lied and said, "No, I'm in love with Amanda." That lie changed everything. The rare girl, the one both boys admired. She actually liked Kulin. Later, Kulin called Amanda and asked for a favor. He was willing to do anything for her. On Amanda's birthday, Kulin and Keyboard both arrived at her party. But as soon as they got there, Amanda took Keyboard aside, completely ignoring Kulin. Then, right in front of him, Amanda kissed Keyboard. The girl Kulin liked saw it too. Her heart broke, and she ran away. Kulin followed her and confessed his love, but she replied that she only saw him as a friend. She told him, "You betrayed your friend, and you hurt me too." What could be worse than that? Meanwhile, Guli and the others also saw Amanda and Keyboard kissing. Furious, they beat up Kulin. He stood there in silence. He had no strength left to fight back. Afterward, Keyboard was too ashamed to bring Kulin home. Kulin went to another friend and shared his pain. He knew now that he had made a terrible mistake. Kulin confessed everything to Keyboard. Keyboard was surprised and said, "If I'd known you liked her, I wouldn't have done this." But after the betrayal, Kulin didn't want to be friends anymore. He shut himself away in a room, refusing to speak to anyone. The girl he liked missed him. Her grandmother gave her a note saying, "This fish was kept safe for you." Reading it made her realize how much Kulin truly cared. She decided she had to make things right. So, the next morning, she went to him and told him the truth. Then, Kulin went to Keyboard to apologize. Keyboard was angry at first, throwing some tantrums. But during the conversation, the girl called Kulin. She told him how much she loved him. She had heard everything over the phone. And finally, all the misunderstandings were cleared. That evening, there was a big dance party. Kulin and the girl danced together. As official partners, Amanda, on the other hand, danced with Keyboard. And together, they won the title of King and Queen of the dance. But just then, Kulin heard a girl's voice from the crowd. One he didn't recognize. It was a voice that drove him crazy. He turned to see who it was and was stunned. His heart began racing. His eyes locked on a mysterious, unknown girl. And at that moment, he wondered If one day I became beautiful, what would I do then? Now you tell me. What would you do?